Ibra di testa, Tonali, gol! Sandro! Meritato! Sandro! Gol!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Torgard, joined once again by Madison.
I was in my head when everyone does their intros, I say it, and I was saying Oliver Fisher, but you're
I
not
almost
Oliver.
did too, yeah, because you're just so used to repeating the same shit he says,
right? Yeah,
but yeah, he's
Let's
obviously
try.
not here because he moved and forgot to get an internet provider. So
yeah, he lives in the hood of London.
Yeah.
So the internet providers don't like to go there, I guess.
Yeah. So he has no internet. He's gone. He's never coming back. That's not true. I don't want to lose listeners, but he'll be back. He just doesn't have internet at the moment.
Listeners are here for us, man.
Yes, exactly.
For our bullshit each week.
So yeah, you got us, and it's gonna be fun because neither of us were around for the friendly against the Zalaegerszeg. But we are going to recap it nonetheless. And we can do that because we have a fantastic website that detailed everything that happened. So shout out us. Anything you want to add before we jump into that?
Yeah. No. So. It was nice to see that a Hungarian team beat a Serie A giant.
Yeah, it actually is pretty impressive.
Wow, you spelled it right. I'm impressed.
Well, that's because I got it right here.
Oh.
I was looking at it
shit.
how the hell? Yeah, so Zalaegerszeg.
Zalaegerszeg.
Yeah.
If we have any Hungarian listeners, please.
Sorry. Type the pronunciation in the comments for us. Yeah, we were down 3-0 after 27 minutes. I was in IKEA shopping for that new entertainment center. So there's that, my bookshelves and stuff. And
why do you all of a sudden have nice things?
Because I have nice things. So, yeah, I looked at the phone and I see a message from Oliver Fisher, who also didn't watch the friendly. That shows you how important this was to us. But he said, "What's going on here?" And I didn't know what was going on because I didn't really have good service. And then Giroud scored a penalty that I guess Ballatore won. And then we got another one from Krunic in the 87th minute after subbing on about 20 people. But the thing that stuck out to Isaac the most, who actually did get to watch it, he said Brescianini was just abysmal. He said that was the guy who was marking the goal scorer for both the second and the third goal. He got just completely beat, just destroyed off the mark, and apparently that's why. Mignon had a howler, but it didn't go in, so I guess that's good. He gets away with that. But yeah, from what I was seeing, or from what we said, Adley looked great again. So that's a plus because of what we'll get into later with the CDK. Ballatore apparently looked really good, surprisingly. He showed attacking capabilities in the first half of the game and a constant desire to get to the byline and create danger. Yes, I did just read that off a script. And Brahim Diaz looked poor. No surprise there, but that was...
He always does.
Yeah, I mean, that's really everything that we wrote down about it, so...
I mean, he's been all over. People have been like, oh, he's getting in shape. He's going to be better. Just because you have more muscle mass does not mean you're going to be a better player. In fact, it's probably going to hurt him more because he's small and he's quick. And the more muscle you have doesn't mean you're going to be faster or stronger. It just means you have more mass. I mean, physically stronger, but
if you put leg muscle on, you'll be quicker.
Not if he has more weight. They have to correlate, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll balance stuff out. I don't think it'll slow him down too much. I mean, it's not like he's bodybuilding. He's not putting on that much weight. He just looks slightly better. I mean, he's still a kid. Remember, he's 21, 22. He could put on a lot of muscle still, I think, and develop fine.
When I was 21 or 22, you would have called me old.
I would never have called you old when you were 21 or 22 because I would.
Yeah,
I would have been.
You've been calling me old since I was here. Since I was 25.
No. Was I?
Of course you were.
Oh, damn.
It's the only thing you got on me.
I know what that's a joke about, and we're skipping past it. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about this friendly, leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely read it. I just didn't get to watch the game; I was busy. So yeah, and we literally put the message in the chat to get anyone else. We said, did anyone watch the friendly that wants to be on the podcast, so we don't sound like completely just dumb, not knowing anything. And no one watched the game. So I apologize. Our entire staff is incompetent when it comes to Hungarian teams. And yeah, so here we are.
Actually, the goal scorer was Fresco Puskas' grandson.
Oh, really?
No. I just made that up. But I should have kept it going. I just want to see if you believe me.
Yeah, because I know nothing about this team, so I was like, all right, cool.
But
I looked
Puskas
at the names and
is a Hungarian.
Well, I didn't know that, but I'm looking at the names and I'm like, well, none of them are the same name, but maybe it's like he had a daughter who married someone else, and
right.
That's his grandson. I was like, it's possible. But yeah, that's that. We lost 3-2, and it didn't sound like we were taking it very seriously. We didn't really even play the Stars until like this late. I mean, Mignon came on in the 60th. 62nd, sorry, Leao came 64, Tamori 66, Teo 67. So like, all of our subs came late, and it is still shocking that we only could score once from Krunic of all people. But I mean, whatever. Like the game didn't matter. So yeah, moving on. Just a quick little thing for people. So we just want to get people more involved in the comment section. So we figure we're gonna do a little trivia question, see who gets it, and if you get it right, we get a shout out next week on the podcast. So the question for you guys today is: Milan lost only 2 games in the 2003-2004 season. Who were those teams that we lost against?
League games.
Yeah, league games. Sorry, good distinction there.
Yep.
Yeah, so throw that in the comments, and if you get it right, we'll shout you out next week when we give you another question to answer. Just something for fun, no high stakes or anything, but just something to do, something to enjoy. And speaking of giveaways, things for you guys to get involved in, we have a winner of our Playbook Products Giveaway. And let me pull that up now. So the winner of that is Abdul Rahman. I can't pronounce your last name. I probably butchered your first name too, but Abdulra 917-99665. Quite the Twitter username, but you won. So we are going to DM you on Twitter. If you're listening to this, definitely check your DMs. Yeah, and we'll get your shipping information and send that out to you. So congrats, you won that. Cool. Well, I mean, we're flying through this episode because they're just nothing's happened. Nothing has happened at all,
Maldini's leaving to Spezia. His loan to
Verona
fell apart.
Yeah, so he left today. He said his goodbyes. We got video footage of that. So he dipped on out. He's going to Spezia on a loan. I'm sad to see him leave, but I think
it'll be good for him.
Yeah, I think he'll grow quite a bit. I mean, that was the team he scored against, so they're definitely going to be excited for that. And then we also had another departure today or yesterday. Plizzari left. He's going to Pescara on a permanent deal, but it was a free transfer. So, yeah, if we could have just sold him for $1 million, $2 million, maybe we would have gotten CDK. But yeah, so he left. His contract there is until the June of 2025, so he'll be gone for few seasons. Wish him the best of luck. I remember a lot of people thought he was going to be better than Donnarumma. Ollie was definitely one of those guys, and I was like, why? You've seen nothing about him. I remember the kid was like 14, and he's like, you think Donnarumma's good? Wait till you see Plizzari. And I'm like, I'll never see him because he's never going to play for us. And sure enough.
I mean, if he never got a chance. So to say, that is not really fair. Donnarumma got a chance because Abate was injured all the time and old. And
Abate? You mean Abate?
Yeah, my bad.
But it was Diego Lopez is who he took over from.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was also old and injured all the time.
Yeah, I think when Mihajlovic gave Donnarumma a shot, I think Diego Lopez just had like a run of like 4 or 5 just really awful games, making mistakes in each ones, and he said, "Screw it, the 16-year-old can't be much worse," and he was significantly better.
And now he's significantly worse.
Yeah. We also had Caldara leave to also Spezia. I don't know if that was discussed last week or not. Did we go over
I didn't
that?
watch.
Oh, okay. Oh, we weren't on it. Neither of us
No.
were. That's why. Yeah, so I mean, it's really just been that. Those are the moves we've made, and not much else. This episode's gonna be so depressing for everyone. I apologize. I mean, we're a month into the window, and we have not signed anyone outside of Origi, who was a free transfer early July, and we're still waiting to see what's going to happen.
How much do you think of it is Maldini's lack of experience in negotiating and his hands being tied?
It's tough to say because if the margin is as small as everyone is reporting it is, I think that's more hands tied. Like if it's really is a 2 million gap, what is there to negotiate? You know, it sounds like they're both just sticking to their guns, which I get that, but Bruges has no incentive to move. You know, like they have CDK for 2 more seasons. His contract doesn't expire until 2024. They have no incentive to sell him for anything less than what they want to sell him for, you know? And
except for the players want to leave.
Yeah, but even then, like if you're looking at it economically, like doesn't matter to them. You know, they got him. Like whatever. They can force their hand and force him to stay.
he can be like, sell me. He can do an Aguero or a Tevez.
Yeah, but still I think it's different. He's a kid. He's 21. Like what pull does he have? Yeah, he's one of their best players. He's fantastic. He's done great numbers for them, but at the end of the day, he's just another guy that they're probably not going to have at the end of his contract anyways. So it is what it is. I don't know. I feel like a lot of it is we're not able to go up, but that scares me because supposedly we're looking for other people too. I just can't wrap my mind around the idea that our entire transfer budget is only 33 million euros and we're spending it all on one player. Like if that's our whole budget, I would imagine we'd go for like, you know, a few players, like a 5 million loan with option here, or 5 million loan with option there, maybe.
Yeah, and like it's kind of wild how Inter and Juve and Roma are out here spending money, signing players to big contracts. I guess Juve's not really spending a lot; they're just signing a lot of big contracts. You know, Leeds is out here spending money, but yet the champions of Italy can't do shit.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Like we know we have the Scudetto money, so we have some money, and I'm thinking that a lot of this has to do with the takeover. You know, it's still Elliot's market right now, and if Redbird's supposed to be done in September, what incentive does Elliot have to spend anything right now? You know.
Well, you'd think that they would have some kind of like deal in place where we're like, hey, you know, Redbird can be like, hey, this is the budget that we are working with. You know, you sign these players. We're just going to work it into the deal of the club.
Right, like a reimbursement thing. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. But if this is the budget that they're wanting us to work with, that scares me. Because 35 mil is just simply not enough to do anything in today's game.
Where did you read that was our budget?
I didn't. I'm just looking at the fact that we haven't signed anyone and we can't raise our offer by 2 mil. Like if we met them in person 3 times now and made the exact same offer 3 times.
If the computer program's only telling us we can spend that much money, that's all we can spend.
Honestly, I think that's what they're sticking with, and it's pissing me off because there's no reason for that. I mean, and I'm looking at like obviously transfer market isn't the definitive be all rating, but they have him valued at 33. And if all of our offer is 33, is like is our algorithm, you know, in air quotes here, just transfermarket.com? Like, is that what we're doing? We're just looking at that? So
but
I'm not going over it.
Also, like, you have to. There's like a human element in negotiation. You can't just go off of what a computer tells you.
Right, and I'm wondering if we're not. Like, I'm wondering if we're just forgoing that and we're just saying this is what we have.
Right.
This is what we could do.
I don't know if we'll ever know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do we think it gets done?
Yes. Even if it's a loan with obligation at 35.
Oh, I don't think we do that. Or maybe we do like a paid loan, like a high paid loan at 20 with obligation at 15 to make it 35 and it's split over the 2
Yeah.
seasons. But I just don't see them taking it if they're so stubborn on a fixed 35, right? Because what we've offered supposedly was the 32, 33, whatever, plus bonuses to hit that, or a future resale percentage, which would obviously give him more than 2 million, if he sold for, I don't know,
If the
quick
kid
math,
pans out.
38. Right. And that's why they don't want to do anything. They want a fixed, which I totally understand, because how many times does a young starlet flop, But
yeah. But also, like, going back to the point of, like, is it Maldini or are his hands tied? If his hands were tied, he wouldn't have come back, because he made it very clear that he is here to continue to win, not like make these struggled signings.
yeah.
And here we are making these struggled signings.
Yeah, I think the difference of, you look at Roman Favre or whatever, Favre from January, we were trying to sign him for 10 mil. They wanted 13, and we end up losing out on him over 3 mil. What's the difference of not being able to pay 13 and offering 10 and not being able to pay 35 and offering 32? It's like
just a couple million.
Yeah, it's like it's the exact same thing. We're just going for a higher rating. So it's like, why are we always trying to push our limit if we can't reach that?
Right.
I don't know. It's frustrating. It doesn't make much sense at all. Yeah, I'm just checking to see if there's anything else going on right now, because that's really, that's it. We're not even going after other players. You saw ZH wants to continue pushing for the move to the club, but it doesn't sound like we're actually going to do that.
Maldini said he wants to give Pioli 2 to 3 more players. Who the fuck are they?
When did he say that?
I thought I read that yesterday. By the end of the season, he wanted to give him 2 to 3 more players.
By the end of this season? Or by the end of the window?
Window.
Oh, I was going to say, then we're getting them all in January because he's not doing shit. Yeah, you see the video of Maldini by the elevator, the sigh that he lets out when we ask any progress, like that tells you everything you need to know. In fact, he's already back at AC Milan, says they are probably working to close it still, which is reassuring, but it shouldn't have taken this many in-person visits, Like, we've spent enough on private jets to where we could have just paid the difference.
I know.
But, yeah, so
that doesn't come out of our transfer budget, though.
Right. Yeah, the ZH thing is he didn't get on the Chelsea team bus when they landed back in the UK because they were in a USA tour, obviously, but I don't know if I buy that. It's kind of a nobody reporting that, to be honest with you. And he played from the start of every preseason game. If he was on his way out, I feel like that would have not happened, if there was any concrete movement there. But yeah, it says fresh talks took place this week and both clubs are growing optimistic. So that's worrying because some people were saying that ZH is an alternative to CDK. I don't think that really.
No, they're not really the same player.
Right. ZH can play attacking mid, but he's historically a right wing, which is what we need. If we could get both, that's perfect. But at this point, like, I'd be shocked if we get one of them, and that's what scares me. But yeah, as just looking at the rest of it, that's it. We have another friendly tomorrow, actually, against Wolfsberger. If you remember, we played them in, was it the Europa League?
Wolfsberger,
the Austrian team.
Oh.
We played them not long ago, like in a preseason thing, or it was like a Europa qualifying round or something like that. Let me see. Wolfsberger AC versus AC Milan. I'm pretty sure. Nope. Not, of course, it showed me the friendly. We had played a while ago, and I can't find it.
They're definitely pronounced Wolfsburg.
No, that's a different team.
Oh, Wolfsburger, you're right.
Yeah.
Google had it wrong.
Yeah, Wolfsburger.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Yep, but we played them in the past.
Be on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, so we get to watch it there. And I swear I will actually watch it. I'll be at home at 1 p.m. I'll be at work, so I'll have it on my laptop while I'm doing my computer stuff. And I'll be able to review that game appropriately. The head-to-head. Okay, why is it not showing? It's not showing our head-to-head against each other, which is really annoying. But we did play, and I'm sure people remember it. So, yeah, there's that. It's Austria. It's a friendly, so you never know who's going to play. I would imagine getting close to the end of preseason to get to the start of the real season that we're going to see more starters from the beginning as opposed to, the kids. It doesn't sound like Brescia is going to be in the plans ever again after the ZTE game. So, good there. And, yeah, this is a quick one. Sorry, guys. There just really isn't anything to discuss. That's why we're doing Tuesday instead of Monday. We tried to get an extra day. Hoped we'd close the CDK deal and we could discuss that in a while, but we don't. And
do we have any questions?
Yeah, I was going to pull that up now. I was just seeing if you had anything else you wanted to add.
I don't.
Well, we have a lot of questions, but something tells me they're all going to be very similar and about CDK, but let's get into it, and I'll just read them one at a time and just say screw it. If we repeat, we repeat. It is what it is. First question from Rohit Karalista. Are you confident in the confidence of the management in the CDK deal? Yeah, that word's been thrown around.
Am I confident in the confidence?
Yeah, I think that's been the word thrown around in all the reports is Milan is confident in completing the deal.
I think that no one really knows what's going on but management. To say, 'cause media never knows. They know, I guess, like they know a little bit, but like they really don't know. We could be $5 million off for all we know. We could be 10.
Yeah,
it might not be 2.
No, I mean that's a really good point.
I don't think that we would be. I think based on Maldini the past 2 seasons, he's been here 2, right? Or was last season? Yeah, 2.
When 2 as he's the head guy, but he had that one where he was under Leonardo as well.
Yeah. So when it's done for Maldini, it's done. I feel like it's just dropped, and he hasn't dropped it yet. That's the only reason why I still have hope.
Yeah, his body language today when he was leaving the Swiss meeting was unique. I'd never seen him look that, like, not defeated, but kind of frustrated, like that sigh he let out. He normally keeps everything very close, he's like, we're working on it, blah, blah, blah. But that really sounded like he's shocked. I don't think he's had a negotiation that's difficult.
Why don't we throw in 30 million plus Zalaegerszeg?
That's perfect for me, but the problem is that makes the valuation 20 million,
I don't care. Zalaegerszeg is worth shit.
That's what I'm saying. It reduces the value of the deal. You throw him in.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Next question from Chunker007. Why are so many of our fans, for all the reports from the so-called rumor peddlers like Di Marzio, Pongo, Nico Schira about Milan Mercato, when it's obvious they only do guesswork and don't know anything about what Maldini and Massara, and they bash the club for that?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Why do they do it? Because
I get it.
They get paid to.
Yeah. We fall for it because we're starved. We want something. We want to hear any news about our club. But the problem is we're all seeing the same thing. Confidence. New meeting this week. Today or the next. Literally yesterday we saw a report that said the deal should be done today or in the next few hours. And then the next few hours was the next day. And there was a meeting where we left saying it's not done. We need more time. And it's like the 4th time we've had that happen, I mean, CDK Day was last Wednesday.
Is Cardinale or whatever the hell his name is still looking for funding?
I think there was a dossier that was released that showed all his holding companies that was going to be the ones buying it.
Okay, so
I didn't read
funding
it,
is done.
Yeah, it came from Calcio e Financia, so it's pretty much legit, I would imagine.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it does sound like they're doing guesswork. I believe that all the reporters have a source. I believe they all know something. Do I think any of them know the whole picture? Not a fucking chance. It's just, we haven't been operating like that since Galliani was the last sporting director we had that just straight told the media one thing,
what he's doing.
And granted, he did a lot of this deal, no, it's not happening at all, and then they'd be announced like the next day. So that was also a clear sign when he said no. Whereas if he said like we're trying, it was definitely not getting done. But he also had sources that he directly said, look, this is where we're at, this is what's going on. And we're just not doing that anymore.
Yeah, he was also really good at what he did.
Yeah, the days of Condor, the yellow tie. Next question comes from Hasim Diwan. This Cardinale guy talked a big game about wanting to win, then disappears like a FITW. I'm not sure what that means. And leaves us hanging with peanuts for a budget. Feather in the wind, probably. Something like that. I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you. What impression does that give us if he starts his reign by costing us all Scudetto momentum to go split the risk with some of his golfing buds? Yeah, it gives us a poor impression, and I think that's a concern everyone has, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to add there. I mean, if when was the last time a club was taken over and a new owner didn't make a summer signing? Like, didn't make
Didn't he say like he wanted to like buy us a Scudetto gift?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, CDK is a perfect gift.
Get it done. Get it done. This is also from Hosim. Ciao, SempreMilan. Hope all are well. Thank you, you as well. How weird is this CDK saga? Why do we spend weeks after meeting in Bruges, where we knew full well the limits to proceed, only to meet again in Lugano, lowball again, and then go back to Casa Milan like there was actually hope to get a different response?
Because we're hopeless romantics for soccer players.
Yeah, it's driving me nuts, man. I don't get it. I mean, we made an offer. We got told no, this is the price. It wasn't like they just said no, figure it out. They said, this is our price tag. You meet this, you got it. And we said, here's something lower than that. And they said no. So then we fly to Bruges in a private jet, talk it up like we're going to bring CDK on this jet back with us. And we made the exact same offer. And they say, no, we told you the price was this. Came home empty-handed. Then we fly another private jet to Switzerland and give them the exact same offer for a third time. And they say, no, we told you the price was this. Bye. And now we're back at Casa Milan with their tails between our legs, trying to figure out how we could offer them the same thing a fourth time. I don't know what the strategy is there. You know, it's one thing when a player has like 6 months on his contract, a year left on his contract. Mm-hmm. You could ice a club out by then, say, this is your offer, and wait for the last day. And then they say, okay, fine, we got to get money before he leaves for free. That's not the case. This is a 21-year-old star on their team with 3 years left, and they could just hold him. Who knows? His value could double next summer. They have no incentive to sell him at any price less than what they want to sell him at. And if we don't do that, he's their player.
So, per SempreMilan Italy, Maldini is going to reach out to Elliott to ask for approval for the $35 million asking price.
Oh, did we just do that right now?
11 minutes ago.
Well, breaking news that you're all going to know by the time this is out in 2 hours. Hopefully we do that. Fingers crossed. If Elliott say no, then I will burn their headquarters down. But not really, because that's a crime.
Because that is arson.
Yeah. Arsene Wenger. Okay. Next question from John O'Brien. What do you think is the minimum for a successful Mercato? What do you think?
I think our defense set. Our midfield is pretty stacked with depth. We really don't know how they're going to fare in game under pressure. I think that we filled Kessier's role with a few different players. Unfortunately, it's not one player with all of those attributes. We definitely need a new attacking mid. And we need a fucking striker and a right winger. So we need 3 players.
Think we need another striker?
Yeah.
I don't. I think we're good on striker.
Ibra's out till next year. Flop of the season already. Giroud is Giroud, and he disappears in small games.
Hey, he's scored in every friendly we've had so far.
It's preseason. They don't count.
He's
Origi's injured.
He's ready to. He'll be back for the first game of the season.
Okay, he's injured, which means that he has the ability to get injured again, as all players do. But once you're injured, you're always injured. Ask Ibra that. I want a healthy striker, and not like a healthy-looking one like Giroud.
I think we're good on striker because Giroud was our top goal scorer last season. He's been fit for a while.
With what, like 8 goals?
11.
Okay. I want a 20-goal.
I do too. I do too. 100%. I do too. And
that's not going to be Giroud. He scored over 20 goals once in his 35-year career.
Just throwing out numbers now.
He's like a 10 to 15 year goal scorer.
But that's all we need.
Plays. He doesn't play more than except for this season. He did not play more games until since one of his first seasons in France. Dude's not an every game player.
I like how as you're making your argument, you're thinking of why you're wrong and you're just correcting it. He hasn't, except for he did this.
He's done it like twice.
I get what you're saying. He's 35 years old. He's played a shit ton. Eventually, he's going to give out exactly like Ibra, who was forced to play way too much.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that you can't depend on someone who has not been dependable his entire career. He's a bench player. That's what he is.
I don't think
he comes off the bench. That's what he's done his entire career.
Except for France when he won the World Cup.
He scored 1 goal that World Cup.
He had Mbappe. He just got
Mbappe.
That's all he had to do. No, shout out the cat.
Get your ass out of there.
Merlin? Is that your cat's name?
Myrtle?
Myrtle. Like the beach?
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, I never realized that.
Yeah, that's the only Myrtle I can think of. Is it the Harry Potter Myrtle? Was that what you named her after?
No, that was her name when I adopted her, and I just thought it was weird, so I kept it.
Oh, interesting. It could be one of those then. But yeah, I do think a striker is going to be important in the long run. I think Origi's a good fit now, and I think once he's healthy, if he stays fit, he'll probably start over Giroud.
Which is fine, because then Giroud can play his role as a coming off the bench striker.
And I think he'll kill it there. I think he's doing just fine. So I don't think striker's as big of a worry. I get where you're coming from. If we do get CDK, remember he's played mainly as a striker for Bruges. He's been a mobile striker, a second striker, more of a center forward than an attacking mid, and more so than a striker. But he could also play striker if need be, and I don't think that's the case. I think we want him as attacking mid, and I think that's fine. But Origi could also shift into right wing if need be, and we have Giroud up top, Origi right wing. There is a lot of versatility in that makeup. However, the depth is what scares me. So I think we need more there. I think you're right. We're probably good on center backs. Obviously, I wanted Botman. I'm not going to pretend like I never said that. I still do, but that's not happening. He's at Newcastle. And the other guys we're linked with, Tanganga from Spurs. I like the player, but I don't know if, no disrespect to Spurs, but I don't know if players from that club are the right fit for a team that just won a title, because when the going gets tough, Spurs players fold. And that's just a mentality of that team. Maybe next season after Conte turns them around and they win the Premier League, then we could get Spurs players. But as of right now, I don't think we want to overload with ex-Spurs players. So maybe a different center back on the cheap, just so we have it for the depth, because we did lose Romagnoli, because Gabia's kind of trash, because Kier's coming back from injury at a high age, and he's a big question mark. We don't really know. Because Klu's only had 1 good season, because Tomori's only had 2 good seasons. So there are a lot of question marks about our defense, even though it is arguably our best asset at the moment. I would like to get one more player in for depth there. But to answer the original question of what makes this Mercato successful, I would say at this point CDK and just one other player, honestly. Just make that one
preferably
signing,
in the attack.
I would like it to be Ziyech, especially if the rumor is a $5 million loan plus option to buy, but we'll see what happens. That was a long rant. That was good. We got some shout out John O'Brien. You got us talking there. Next question is from Kevin Ingy JL. We are 18 days away from the new season. We have not signed anyone. Yes, we have signed Origi, but he's injured, didn't participate in preseason, doubtful to start the season. What is happening to our Mercato this year? Well, he's not doubtful to start the season.
I like this guy. Let's get him on the podcast.
Well, he asked another question too, so we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But he's not doubtful to start the season. He's expected to start the season. So, there's that. Obviously, being fit for the start of the season and having trained and being ready to play is different. So he might not physically be the starting striker at the start of the season, but he should be in the called up players. Yeah, what's happening? I mean, I feel like we've just gone over it, but we haven't made moves. We're focusing everything on CDK right now, and we can't get it done. And like Maldini said, we had to make up for lost time, but we haven't done that yet. It's been 3 weeks since he made that silly quote, which was 2 weeks after the window started. I mean, where are we at? I don't know. It doesn't sound like we're getting much done.
No, we are in the same position where we started.
Yep. That's really all there is to that. I mean, there's only so many times we could say the same thing. It's like everyone has that question because we're all wondering what the hell's going on. And also from Kevin, why are we doing so badly in our transfers? Why are we so poor? Haggling on a few million, face slap emoji, give up on CDK, go for Ziyech. We need a right wing more. Adley can play attacking mid. And that is a good point. Adley can play attacking mid, and he's done well in preseason. Everyone's seen that. In my head, Adley is going to be more of a box-to-box Kessie replacement, and CDK is probably going to be the main guy at attacking mid.
Yeah, I'm not against giving up on CDK. Like, if Bruges is putting their foot down, like, they need to realize that there's some small club in Belgium. They're, like, bigger than most Belgian clubs, but,
Bigger than all of them, yeah.
Let the kid go. 30 million, 33 million for him is not a bad price. Take your money, accept it, get a replacement, and continue to develop players who want to leave your club.
What position do you think is more important to reinforce? Attacking mid? Why are you drawing attention to it?
Okay, there you go.
Well, now get off the screen. I can't stop staring. Is it more important to replace our right wing or our attacking mid right now?
Right wing. But if we can get a generational talent as a center mid, I take it.
Yeah, and I kind of think that's what we're thinking as well. I mean, because the Ziyech trail was hot, and then all of a sudden the CDK opportunity came up, and we dropped Ziyech.
Because, like, a center attacking mid can completely transform your team.
It's quite literally the middleman between your midfield and your attack.
Midfield and your attack, right?
Yeah, it's the most important thing in our system, and that's why we had such poor attack in phases of last season, because Brahim was awful, and it only really started to work when we started slotting in Krunic, who is an attacking mid, or Kessie, who is an attacking mid. And if we're dealing with Brahim again, at least Adley, we know, can play it, but again, he's unproven in the league. He's also young. From what we've seen in preseason, he's definitely done better than Brahim.
Yeah.
So that does lead me to think that we could put Adley at attacking mid, and Ziyech would be a huge improvement over Zalaegerszeg and Macias. And that would also mean Macias would be the backup, which means Zalaegerszeg's probably not going to be around much, which would be a really big plus. But Macias has looked pretty good in preseason as well. So I don't know. It's interesting. Watch we sign no one and we work with what we have and we win again, no problem. Like, we're arguing over nothing here, but it's probably not going to happen. Probably need someone. Now we got a good amount of questions. So this one I'm going to combine with the next 3 because they all seem to be the same thing. But Allison_ID said go away from Bruges. I just wanted to read that. And Daru_W said Milan's chances to get CDK ? And then the Swedish podcast said, is it wrong of Milan to put all eggs in one basket on CDK? So I asked those three at the same time because they're all basically saying what's going on with CDK. I feel like we've touched on it pretty good so far.
Past half hour.
Yeah. But I do want to acknowledge the Swedish question of, is it wrong to be going all in for this kid? Because it might be, you know, is it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out.
That? Yeah. Is it better to divide that up and get 3 smaller price players?
I don't think so. I think that when you divide it up and get 3 smaller price players, you're going to continue to get the same talent level, where at some point we need to get better talent because we want to compete with better teams.
Exactly. That's what I was hoping you'd say. Saves me from saying it because my voice is getting tired. All right. This one's from Michael Golisano. Is it safe to assume that the media really knows nothing about these negotiations for CDK? Can't remember a saga quite like this one. In the end, does he sign or not? Yeah, I think it's very safe to assume the media has no idea what's going on. I think the issue is Maldini and Massara are telling the media it's all good. We're confident. We're confident on this. There's trust. We keep seeing these words, trust and confidence, getting thrown around. So that's coming from somewhere. And I think it is us saying, we're meeting them in person again. I think this is the one. And then it turns out to not be the one. So maybe it's not so much the media not knowing what's going on. It's that the people who are telling the media who are in the know don't know what's going on. It's that Maldini is confident for no reason. It's that Massara is confident for no reason. And that we're saying, yeah, we're confident. We're going to get it done today. We're going to Lugano. We're going to finish this deal in Switzerland. And then we come home from Switzerland and we're like, what happened? You know? So I'm wondering if it's more that than the media is just playing a guessing game. It sounds like we're playing the guessing game as Milan. That's my thought on that. And
I don't
go ahead.
Believe if like out of 100% of what if the media knows, I think they know like 10% of what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Maybe 15%, but regardless, not a lot. You know, I
like
think it's a small percent.
There has to be a leak in the club who knows these numbers that are telling people
right
at either club, you know, like, and people don't really like, they don't divulge that. They don't be like, yo, we're $2 million off. Tell Longo.
Right. Yeah. No one's telling Pongo anything, but yeah. If you guys don't like Daniele Longo, the reporter, just reply to his tweet with Pongo and he'll block you. He made that clear yesterday by saying if anyone replies to me with the word Pongo, you're getting blocked. So yeah, you go have fun with that, man child. Anyways, last question from MoFunky77. He said, why does Milan keep acting like a small-time club, going to lose out on their second major target to a mid-level EPL club? I don't think Leeds is actually still in the race. I think they've pulled out.
Well, CDK has made it known that he wants to play Champions League.
That's true. Did Bruges not qualify for the Champions League this year? I mean, I know they played it last season.
No, but I think that if you want to play in Champions League, you play for a Champions League level team.
Right. Yeah. There is a big difference between
second best team historically in the Champions League. Like, you know.
Yeah, there's a big difference between playing Champions League and playing Champions League for a club that has a chance to leave the group stage. And I think that's
they're going to say win it. To be fair, Bruges might have a better chance at leaving their group than us.
No, surely not. We're in pot 1. They'll be pot 4. I hope we're in the same group. I hope we slaughter them. But yeah, I don't think we're behaving like a small club. I think the reality of Italian football is smaller now. I think if you want to spend big, you do it like Inter is, like Juventus is. Juventus is signing a bunch of old guys on high contracts. And Pogba's already hurt. You know, he hurt his knees, got a meniscus injury, so he'll be gone for the start of the season, like a month or two, maybe longer. And then who else? Di Maria, he's 35. He's a fantastic player, but big contract, old. That's risky signing. You'll get Dybala going to Roma for big money. That's their only big signing this season, I believe, and that's fine. Whatever, they're in Europa League. Inter bringing back Lukaku, but then they had to sell off players. They missed out on Bremer. They missed out on Dybala. Supposedly Skriniar is still going to PSG for 70 million, which they're probably banking on because they're crazy in debt, and that's just the reality of it. If you spend like a Premier League club when you're not in the Premier League, you're gonna have money issues, and that's what we're avoiding. And that's great that we're probably one of the healthiest clubs, but what is the end result of that? It means we spend 33 million and haggle over 2 million for a month and a half. I think that's just where we're at. It's not that we're a small club. It's that Italy is a small money market, and that's unfortunately
for now
the sad ending to this podcast. Unless you have anything else.
Yeah, especially when you take the second bid for TV rights in the Middle East.
Yeah, that blows my mind. That was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. For anyone who doesn't know, the TV rights for MENA, which is Middle Eastern North Africa, that region was up for bid, and we had 2 offers. And for whatever reason, Syria chose the second highest bid. Obviously, there could be other things that go into that. You know, some bonuses that aren't there on the front. But
that could all we aren't taking into account I think the highest bid was beIN Sports.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of the Americans remember when Syria was in beIN Sports here, but it was trash. So we don't know. Maybe the second highest bid came with
limited
TV
production or something, or
actual production shows like what they do on CBS.
Yeah, and so obviously, you know, without being in those negotiations, we can't decide if it was the better option or not. But when you just see the upfront money, and I don't remember what it was, but the first bid was significantly more than the second one. So just on surface level, it looks like, oh, what the hell are we doing, guys? But I would imagine there's some sort of reason other than, you know, picking the second one for the memes of it. But that is the Italian way to go about things. Yeah, any closing thoughts before we move on?
No.
Cool. Well, remember to answer that viewer trivia question we mentioned earlier in the podcast. Just put that in the comment section below. We'll shout you out next week if you get it right. Yeah, until then, I've been your host, Anthony Torgard. Follow me on Twitter at Torgard45, and been joined by Madison.
Yeah, Edward__Toth right there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening this far, and we'll catch you in a week's time.
Eccolo Ante in area di rigore, Ante, vibra, gol! Vediamo se è buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono!